Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Turtle Wow. With the next part. Which part is this? It is part 4. Part 4. And, I'd like to welcome everybody to watching this video. And today, we're going to be continuing on with our hunter. We're already at level 8, and we're going to go straight to Jasper Lode Mine. Now, there was a comment in one of my videos that says, "What is Turtle Wow?" I did respond to this comment, but I figure maybe people don't know. So here's the deal. Here's the deal with Turtle Wow. Turtle Wow is a Vanilla Plus server. It is one of the best Vanilla Plus servers that is out on the market as of right now. It is set in 1.12. So this is classic. This is vanilla. This is not the classic that we have right now that came out in 2019. No, this is the one that came out in 2004, 5, maybe little parts of 6. Now, the deal is that this has been customized a lot. There's a lot of wacky new armors. There's some wacky new content stuff, new raids, customized dungeons and stuff like that. There is so much new custom stuff here, and they even just released a new zone. Yes, a new zone, guys. Came out on October 6th, I believe, which is Gilneas. Look at this. Look at this. You customize a full Gilneas. This is not the one from Cataclysm, guys. Believe me, the layout is extremely different. In fact, the story is completely different. There is a civil war currently going on here in Gilneas, where the citizens outside in Silverpine, who are survivors, finally broke open the gate and is now rushing in to try and secure the rest of Gilneas and take some revenge on the nobility. In the midst of this civil war, fellas, listen. There is an outbreak. The Worgen are back. So Worgen are still part of this. And it is a big part of it. So in the midst of a civil war, they have a Worgen blight. And Gen has issued the order. An inquisition wolf hunters to get rid of the Worgen and to settle the quelling peasant revolt. As he assumes that most of the peasants are exposed to the wolf, the Worgens. He has ordered an inquisition to also get rid of them as well, and anybody who is suspected of being bitten, leading to the heroes of the Alliance. Maybe the Horde. I haven't seen the Horde side yet, but I know for the Alliance. The Lord, the Duke from Prywood Village, has issued an order to tell people, hey, Alliance, we got this issue, can you help us out? So members of the Alliance can go to Gilneas, and Horde can go to Gilneas City, which is a new dungeon, a big dungeon. And you have to put to rest all the conflict, settle the issue, get rid of the Worgen problem, and kill Gen Greymane, which is completely different from what we got in Cataclysm, where Gen Greymane has asked the Alliance for help. In this case, it's the peasants from Silverpine who are also dealing with the Forsaken threat and trying to get back into Gilneas for safety reasons. Have finally destroyed and dismantled the Greymane nobility and overthrew Gen through bloody results. Which, to be honest, from my perspective and point of view, I think is pretty interesting take. Now, it's not something I would have came up with not in a million years. Well, maybe. I mean, if we take the whole monkey typewriter stuff, I would have probably come up with something like this. But I wouldn't have killed Gen, is what I'm saying. Now, I don't know who's supposed to succeed Gen as a successor due to his death, but there is supposedly a power vacuum. Because if I remember correctly, between the events of Classic and Cataclysm, I think his daughter is way too young to inherit the throne. So, be it beyond me. I don't know. But I am looking forward to actually taking on that content. And I'm hoping that I can actually make some great strides in my quest to get to that zone. Now, friends, my lovely friends, if you want to be a bigger friend, just subscribe. Leave a like and comment on the video. It always fills me with such joy when I see a new subscription or a comment that I can actually reply to, or leave a like on your comment. But, in any case, my friends, here's the deal. Gilneas is not an end game content zone. No, for once, my friends, they're not doing the Blizzard route. They're not just making new end game stuff. No, my friends, this is a level 45 or level 40 to 50 zone. So yes, it's smack dab near the end, but it's not the end. It's actual leveling content that you have the option to go into. Whether you want to add it to your leveling route or not, up to you. Perfectly fine. They gave out new gear. There's a quest set, a dungeon, some new dungeon stuff within the city that gives you some really nice benefits, such as uh, damage. Certain amount of damage will give health back to you, like a leech effect. You know, it sounds so interesting to just see something like this, something like this, my friends, that you just wouldn't expect, is what I'm saying, right? It's just something you don't expect. But it's not bad content. It just sounds like they're really improvising their way of doing things. They've already added the High Elves, and they're already trying to dish out this idea of reclaiming, High Elven territory away from the Scourge. And they're also implemented this exiled group of Venture Co. to be part of the Horde. Which, to be honest, I did make a goblin. It's a side project so that I can explore the Horde side a little bit more. I'm thinking about doing more, but I'm saving it for the stream on my Twitch, where I'm actually leveling another hunter on the Alliance, just so that I can get an idea of what I can do and what routes, and also to hang out with anybody who wants to join in on that, It'd be a fun time. So, yes, my friends, this is quite the adventure ahead of us. And frankly speaking, I can't wait. I genuinely cannot wait, my friends. Because I feel the rush for adventure into an RP server such as this to figure out, what lies underneath the surface. And how they can actually make this better. This server has been around since 2008. It is 2023. And they just now brought out 1.17. To give you an idea, each patch they come out with that changes it, like 1.17, 1.18, 1.19, always has new content and new stuff inside of it. New armor, new abilities, new class reworks, new stuff like that. They are constantly on the ball with it and ever evolving. To my knowledge, they're not going to do TBC. They're not even going to do Wrath unless it makes sense to do it. Which, to be honest, is the great way to do it. That is the perfect way to do Vanilla Plus. They are only sticking to Azeroth. And I'm going to say right now, I might be wrong. Don't quote me. But if they make 1.20 or 1.30 and make an entirely new continent to travel to on the other side of Azeroth, buddy, I'd be blown away. I would be playing this server constantly just to see what kind of cool stuff they come out with next. Now, obviously, I have a lot of high hopes, and I might be wrong, but I'm not going to say the next patch 1.18 is going to do that. No, I'm definitely giving it some space. I think it would be pretty damn cool if they did it, is all I'm saying, right? I think it would be pretty damn cool. The limitless potential these developers have. I'm surprised, Blizzard isn't going to I to be honest with you guys, I think Blizzard should go the old way again and start ripping off other content ideas. Like when they took stuff from Guild Wars and Final Fantasy and stuff like that, implemented stuff that only they had. And EverQuest, God, EverQuest was a gold mine for these guys. It definitely would be ideal. It would definitely be a cool idea if they just seen what was going on and just said, you know what? We got Classic on the rise again. Hardcore is popular. All of this cool stuff that's coming out that makes the game really, really good. Why not capitalize on an idea that private servers have done again? They've done it with Nostarius. That's why we have Classic now from 2019. Why we have 2019 Classic is because of Nostarius. The Nostarius team did it. Why can't they just look at Turtle Wow and go, there's the idea, right? Just start asking like Torda and all the other people, like, hey, you guys want a job at Blizzard? You guys want to help out with some of the classic stuff that we've got planned? I'm sure everybody, I'm pretty sure Torda would be like, yeah, we can share some ideas, we can get the ball rolling, we can get some, you know, sponsorship, maybe show that private servers are a little bit more superior, you know what I mean? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It is definitely full of potential. Potential that I think would be healthy for the game. Healthy for the game. Sincerely. You know, Blizzard hasn't had, you know, a whole lot going for it as of what it is. You know, it is definitely seen better days. You know, and I think it definitely needs some more inspiration under the hood. You know, under the belt. It needs more in its head. And I think private servers that do stuff like this would definitely benefit from taking some ideas, maybe recruiting some guys from these private server communities, these devs from these private servers, just to, like, you know, hire them on. You know, classic WoW is getting popular, more popular than retail. You know, why not take advantage of people who are very much well versed in the classic trade and actually, you know, make some really good content, you know? Why not, right? I think it would be beneficial. I think it would be cool. I think it would be a good idea. I mean, there would probably be some people who have, you know, negative ideas about it, like, oh, Blizzard would probably just take advantage of these guys and just toss them on the curb after they achieve success. You know, it's all for the money and stuff like that. Why pay these guys? Well, you know, that might be the case, and it would definitely be a bad thing. But when you have a private server community and a classic community as large as it is now, I don't know if Blizzard wants to take that chance of just pissing off more of its player base. Because believe me, they do that enough. And the well is going to run dry eventually. You know, it's definitely going to eventually dry up, and it's not going to be great for Blizzard in the end if they just decide to really mess with their player base like this. But, you know, it's just how it goes. It's just, you know, it's the idea that counts. You know, the thought that counts, as they say. Now, I will say there is a lot of, you know, definite potential with a lot of ideas. And I support a lot of the ideas. Private server communities tend to make some of the world's greatest ideas come to life because they know what they're doing. In fact, I think private server people, private server devs and stuff like that know more about the game code better than what Blizzard actually knows. The sad truth, unfortunately. But it is the truth. But any case, obviously. In any case really. We it's definitely one of those ideas where we kind of hope that Blizzard kind of, you know, just does its job and not just think about the money. You know, if to be honest, if a good business practice isn't to milk the customers dry. The best business advice that I could probably give Blizzard right now, and Kodak, generally speaking, is pander to your audience, pander to the players. Don't just, you know, think of the money, think of the player. Because if the players are happy, if players are happy, they will be more than happy to spend their money. Like, I play Azure Lane, big gotcha game, you know, and all I do all day is play it. And I spend money from time to time when new ships come out because I'm a collector, right? I have a habit of collecting a lot of really cool things. And with Azure Lane being ship girls that look really pretty, obviously it admits its own controversies with its outfits and skins being way too much for people, apparently. Which has been the model for since it came out. That's been the model of Azure Lane, and they're just now figuring out. I'm definitely surprised that people just finally found out about Azure Lane and how it works with its outfit system. Like, that thing's been around for like 6 years now. I'm genuinely surprised. But the big thing with it though is not that I'm surprised that they've just now found out about it, but the fact of the matter of that people are just mad about it because the outfits, like that's always been the case. People just discovering it, just dumb, right? It is just dumb to get mad over a game that's about really hot, you know, unrealistic body standards of women. Buddy, they're not even mortal, they're not even human. They're ships, right? Like you get mad about a ship being like not body realistic. It's not even real to begin with. The ships are real, but the people of the like decorum of the ship is not. But it gives an idea that it doesn't have to be, you know, for a game like a gotcha game like Azure Lane to make millions of dollars every year through just you know ship bait making, which is just what people like to see because they make them tasteful, but also the outfits. Azure Lane does a lot of surveys and they ask people questions: what kind of outfits, what kind of stuff would make the game better, and what people want. They oftentimes ask their community what kind of outfits they should be giving these ship girls, what kind of style would they prefer to see, and if they didn't like a certain outfit during that season, how could they make it better for people, right? They ask these questions. Blizzard don't ask these questions. I think if Blizzard really asked, if they're gonna try and act like a gotcha game for World of Warcraft by offering outfits for money like they are now, and offer and asking for like, you know, a lot of like business transactions, increasing subscribe amounts and stuff like that, like increasing the rates, give us a reason to. Don't just make end game content, make mid game content. Make questing fun. And you know the Chromie Time Waves is fun. I get it. I love the Chromie Time Waves. Though it did not live up to my standard. But you know, my standard doesn't really matter in the eyes of the company because the company does not necessarily care, right? No, the company genuinely probably does not care about me. All it cares about is the money in its pocket, right? If it really cared about me, then they would probably do a better freaking idea and business model, which it definitely does not have. But you know, it's definitely one of the it's definitely one of those hit or miss things with Blizzard. But I think if it really asked its subscribers and all of its people and all the players and stuff like that what it wants from the game, how could it make the game better? How could it make the player's experience 10 times better than it already is now? You know, what can they do to solve the issues in the game? You know, it could really benefit from asking these questions, right? But it don't ask these questions because they don't really care to ask the questions. Now, if they did care to ask the questions, I think the game would probably be better if they just asked the questions. But it don't. So obviously, you know, it's not going to be a fun game to play if you know the company itself just doesn't care enough to play for the game to succeed. Blizzard could benefit from making more money off of what players want. And that's always been what we've been trying. That's what pretty much everybody's been trying to tell Blizzard for a long time is just listen to the community. You'll get what you want. You can make more money based off of what players want versus what the company thinks it wants. Because that's always been the running gag in Blizzard, right? For Blizzard. You think you do, but you don't mentality definitely does not help. They Blizzard pretty much said at that time, what we give you is what you're happy with, but it's not. It's definitely not. But then, when you're vocal, when you're outspoken, when you're loud enough, it definitely does give Blizzard the ideas like maybe this is definitely what people want, and we're just stupid. Which you know Blizzard can't help because they're stupid. But in all sincerity, though, in all sincerity, I truly think that Blizzard could probably benefit better if they listened to the community and what people actually want from the game instead of thinking what the community wants in the game. Um, and with over 10,000 players playing Turtle WoW, I think it's pretty damn clear that there is a huge niche for it, and I think Turtle WoW would probably have a lot more players on it if players did not feel threatened by private servers, like security risks and stuff like that. It definitely does bog down the scene a lot. But if private servers were secure, or if Blizzard just took Turtle WoW's idea, made it official, put it on the live servers, I guarantee you, Turtle WoW would probably have over 30,000 to maybe 40,000, 50,000, maybe even more than that. Maybe even more. Maybe most of the classic community that's already playing the classic currently in this day and age, from both Wrath, Hardcore, and the actual live classic servers, I think personally there would probably be a lot of people playing Turtle WoW, including the Turtle WoW people who are playing it right now. Because I think Turtle WoW, if it constantly keeps making good, they're doing this pretty much for free and only relying on the donation shop to get money in. And obviously, the GMs are workers in their day-to-day lives, and they have to make money to keep the server up and running because they need a host for their online services and stuff. Which, is definitely a big part as to why I think Blizzard could probably benefit more by adding this to their subscription stuff. I do. I think so. Obviously, there's gonna probably be people who are gonna probably be mad about this idea because this is a free game. Why would you ask for a subscription on this? I get that, but think about it like this: there are people out there that genuinely look at this server, say it looks great. It's they're tempted to play it, but they won't because of the issues of compromise. Some people just don't like the idea of private servers because it harvests data. Like, people think that they harvest data, they will harvest your information, sell it. You know, they think that you can be doxxed or reroute, or your IP and stuff like that will be pushed back to you. First off, your IP changes a lot every week. In fact, auto changes. It's never going to be the same, and it does that to protect you from getting doxxed, pretty much. It's an anti-dox system, basically. So, a lot of people are worried about compromise with their cards, PayPal, debit, credit, whatever they use to donate to these servers. All that information is logged and saved, and places like Molten WoW, rest in peace, had one of its GMs corrupt, stole a lot of data and a lot of money out of people's bank accounts through fraud, and just ran away with the money that was already donated to the server. You know, and that caused a trust issue. And Warmane did pick them up and said, "Hey, we'll help you out in this time." But it was definitely a bad view on the private server community to show how actually fragile these servers are with their protections. But obviously that happened so long ago. Computer tech has definitely improved since then, and server protection stuff has been put in place. New ways to secure your bank transactions and prevent fraud through these various means. So, it only takes one bad GM to completely ruin a server. And that's why I think there is a lot of, and I think Turtle WoW does a lot of checks on their GMs to make sure that they're actually fall in line, that they're not corrupt, they're not stealing money, they're not doing this, and they're not abusing the player base. To my knowledge, Torta checks a lot of that stuff, and I think one other GM. But it really pushes boundaries on some people. Like they get tempted by this, but they're just so afraid of the risk. And the reason why I say I think Blizzard should put this up on their live stuff and put it behind their subscription stuff like they did with Classic is it gives people a security measure that they're buying into something that is definitely safe and secure, that there is always optional vanities and stuff like that, that like the donation stuff, this is just vanity stuff, like all this, like all these things here, like Spectral Tiger is just recolored vanity mounts and stuff. Companions also vanity, you have some vanity stuff here. So really, it definitely hones the point that this server doesn't take advantage of its players. It just offers things for the player. And I think Blizzard already has this model, through their WoW store. It's controversial. People don't like it because it takes away the creativity. But I think, in my personal view, Blizzard doesn't do TCG anymore, and loot cards have been largely abolished. But if you have a card, or if you get a card, they don't make them anymore. So obviously, the limited quantity of these things are also, it sheds a lot of light, And I think, personally, Blizzard, I think, needs to put their loot card stuff into the game store and stop making new stuff for the store. The outfits and mods, I understand. I think that's an okay idea. I don't like it necessarily, but as long as they keep it cheap, I don't care. I don't want to buy a $60 outfit. Nobody wants to buy a $60 outfit. I don't care if it's in a bundle. Nobody wants it. Not even $20 would I pay for an outfit. 10 is probably as high I would go. Maybe even 5. But to bring more attention to the classic stuff like this, Classic Plus, putting it behind a paywall, putting TCG stuff in their store and stuff like that, I think could really benefit the idea. And since Chris Metzen's back on his throne through that news source, it has a lot of potential to actually happen. Now, I'm not saying that Chris Metzen is gonna definitely take the ideas from Turtle WoW and dish it out from there. But I think he's going to probably multitask. I think he's definitely gonna bring out Cataclysm Classic, even though Cataclysm I think is not classic, and I think it was the last I think it was the death knell of normal classic. I truly believe that. But at the same time, he's going to release a Classic Plus where it's going to be something like this. That's my guess. It is my theory, it is my guess. If people like Nixium, Asmongold, big streamers bring light to Turtle WoW, I don't think it would be too far-fetched to believe that Chris Metzen seen this and probably went, this is a great idea. I think I'll make something from this. Make my own version of it. Now, obviously, I ain't gonna say he's gonna, make Classic Plus better than Turtle WoW, with poker and blackjack and hookers. But I think personally he's gonna take the idea and probably be inspired by the idea and come up with something similar, but not the same. Now, I will say, goblins definitely interesting to have in vanilla WoW, in my opinion, because they're more of a neutral faction. Venture Co is definitely not a neutral faction. It definitely brings me a little bit confusion, but it's a welcomed kind of confusion because I love my goblin. I love playing my goblin off screen, which I might bring on screen eventually, but that'll be whenever I get time, whenever I want to, or think about it. But it's always the ideas that matter. I think there is tons of potential that Chris Metzen can do a classic as a classic plus moment. I do. I really do. Um, I think Chris Metzen might revive the old spirit of Classic Plus and Classic Plus. I definitely would assume that he will. Because there is a lot of possibility if you just use the established lore from Classic. There is tons of stuff here. You don't even need to go into TBC, is what I'm saying. TBC doesn't need to be a thing to make the game better. You know, it doesn't. It doesn't need Wrath of the Lich King to make Classic better. It doesn't need Cataclysm. It doesn't need anything beyond that. Now, if we do Classic game lore, personally, you can bring a lot to the table. You can definitely bring a lot to the table. Not only can you bring goblins and high elves into the story, you can bring ogres, forest trolls into the story. You can bring the highborn into the story. You can bring, uh, I don't know, gnolls, murlocs into the story. There's obviously got to be, camps out there. There's a lot of potential. You can bring, Pandaren into this, even. Like, as far fetched and crazy as it sounds, Pandaren are very relevant inside Classic WoW. Chen, Storm Stout specifically, has a quest called Chen's Lost Keg, and it's literally Chen Storm Stout's Lost Keg. And you basically come up with brews on the Horde side. So there is a lot of flexibility to have. Like, it's not far, it's already established in lore that there are Pandaren that have wandered around Azeroth exploring, but are very elusive. You know, like there is a WoD Death Knight, Warlords of Draenor Death Knight, part of the garrison. It is Guy Grave Blossom, and it is said that she is an explorer Pandaren who went to Northrend by accident, crashed from Northrend, and was brought under the command of the Scourge through conflict with them. And if you can have something like that before Death Knights for Pandaren were available, which weren't available until like 3 expansions later, there is no conceivable excuse for Blizzard to just retcon that shit until like a future expansion. It is just far fetched to assume that Blizzard just doesn't know its story. Now, I have said this before, and I'll probably say it again a lot, and it'll probably be the last argument that I'll make, and the last rant that I'll make for this episode anyway, because I'll be finishing off this episode very shortly, because we're growing towards the 40-minute mark. So, I think personally, when Kodak came in and started making decisions for Blizzard, I don't think he knows anything about World of Warcraft. I think a lot of people in the World of Warcraft lore department he just didn't talk to, and he just talked to the higher ups about how the game is, and they just simplified it, and Kodak says, expand on that. I don't think the current creative team, I don't think the current higher ups, except for Chris, maybe, knows anything about WoW lore. Because after Cataclysm, they retconned like 60% of the story, 40% of the story, did away with old timelines, old loose ends, just cut them off. And it ruined how the flow of lore is in the game. I think after Blizzard and Activision got together, Activision just had no idea what it was doing with WoW and just completely mucked it up. And I think if they actually took the time to read the lore, understand the lore, and work with the lore, and not make 20 damn novels based on lore, in quotes, that they have created, I think there could have been a lot of stuff that could have been handled a lot well. And that will probably be my last argument for this episode today, because I am going to pick this up next time, guys. Because I'm going to be wrapping this up right now, and I want to thank you guys for watching and spending the time to watch this entire video and listen to me rant. And if you want to see more content from me, please leave a sub, a comment, letting me know that you enjoyed the video, or if you have any questions relating to me, Turtle Wow, all this other kind of stuff. And leave a like on this video. It lets me know that you guys really enjoyed this video and actually enjoy the gameplay that I'm dishing out. I am trying to make some casual style content. You know, that is my idea. I'm trying to be raw, unfiltered, as much as I can, that YouTube allows me to be, unedited. I'm getting to the nitty gritty, and it's definitely going to be more casual, chill. And if you guys can catch me on Twitch, check out my Twitch. I left the link on my channel if you check out my channel. After leaving a sub, obviously. Only if you want to, guys. I'm not pressured. No pressure. No pressure. But, yes, I do have some VODs up. If you guys want to check out some of my previous streams, I will probably be live streaming today shortly after making this video. So leave a follow on Twitch just to be notified of when I go live. And until next time, my friends, watch funny videos, smile often, just vibe with life. Things are good as they are, and live the best life that you've got while you still have it. Until next time, my friends, chill out, peace out, vibe out.